Hi and welcome back to Learn Python by Doing number 29. So today we're going to learn more about unit testing and we're going to learn about test fixtures. So test fixtures initialize test functions. They provide a fixed baseline so that tests execute reliably and produce consistent, repeatable results. Initialization may set up services, state, or other operating environments. So let's see what all of this is about. Remember, we had our project here, and now we are going to create a new file that is going to be called, remember, it has to start with test and then whatever you want. We're going to create a bank account class and we're going to test it before implementing it. So of course we need to import PyTest, and also from bank account we're going to import the bank account class and also a custom exception that is going to be called insufficient amount. So we're going to raise this exception when we try to spend money we don't have. But first, let's create the fixtures. So we're going to use this decorator here, and then we're going to define this function that is going to be called empty bank account. And here, well, we can add some documentation. It's for unit testing, it's very important to add documentation, and we're going to say that this returns a bank account with a balance of 0, so with no money. Return bank account, and like that. Now we're going to define another fixture which is going to be called non-empty bank account, and again some documentation. Returns a bank account with a balance of 100, and return bank account, and in the constructor we're going to pass to the constructor 100, which is going to be the initial amount of money. So now we can use these objects of the bank account class in all of our tests. So the first test is going to be called test default initial amount, and it's going to receive this empty bank account, and we're simply going to assert if the balance of this bank account is 0. Now we're going to test setting initial amount, and again we are going to receive the empty bank account, and sorry, not the empty bank account but the non-empty bank account, and we're going to assert if the non-empty bank account balance is equal to 100. This is our second test. Now our third test is going to be called test add money. Okay, and here we're going to, for example, receive the non-empty bank account. Okay, so if we add here, let's add, I don't know, the method is going to be called add cash or deposit, and we're going to deposit another $100, and we're going to assert now is if the non-empty bank account balance is equal to 200, because remember it has $100 initially. Now we're adding $100 more. Now it needs to have $200. Okay, now the fourth test is going to be test spend cash, and again it's going to receive a new instance of this non-empty bank account, and here we're going to withdraw. So that's how the method is going to be called, and we're going to withdraw $50, and we're going to assert if the balance is now 50. And lastly, we are going to test insufficient amount on account, and we're going here to pass the empty bank account, and remember this with pytest dot raises insufficient amount. So we're going to check if this insufficient amount exception is raised when we try to withdraw money from this empty account. So if I try to withdraw $100, then this needs to raise this insufficient amount exception. Okay, so now if we try to do pytest, obviously we're going to fail because we don't even have this bank account class implemented. So let's do that now. So bank account.py. Now we have to write the minimum code in order for these tests to pass. So the first thing that we're going to do is, remember, create our custom exception insufficient amount, which is going to inherit from the exception class, and it's not going to do anything. So we have already learned this, how to create custom exceptions, so that's easy. And now let's create the bank account class. Okay, so we don't need this, the constructor. So the initial amount that is going to be defaulted by 0. So if you don't pass anything when creating an object of this class, then it's going to be the empty bank account like we had in our fixture. And then we're going to say self balance is going to be initial amount. Okay, so now we have created this balance property, and now we have to define this method withdraw. Okay, so self and the amount to withdraw, and we're going to say if self.balance is less than the amount we want to withdraw, then we have to raise this insufficient amount exception. Else, if we don't raise anything, then we're going to simply subtract the amount from the balance. And finally, we're going to define the deposit method, which is going to also receive an amount. And well, here we don't have any restrictions to deposit money, so simply we're going to add this amount to the balance. So we have created the minimum code in order for these tests to pass. So I hope I did that. So let's see with pytest. Okay, so 7 tests passed. Where well here they are included, the ones from the last video, but if we ignore them, then we made these 5 tests pass. So now you can refactor this code if you want, for example, to make the balance a property and make setters and getters. Well, in this case, setters and getters. The setter will be the deposit, and the getter, well, it can be a method that displays the amount of money, the current amount of money you have. So in short, these fixtures help us to create objects, new objects for each of these tests that needs it. We can also here say pytest -- fixtures, and here you have the description of each of the fixtures you created. So that's why adding this documentation was important, because when you execute this command, then you are having this message here. So that's all for fixtures. Hope you like this video and see you in the next one.